Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and today's topic is going to be really raw and real. And it's like, well, how's that different from any of your other stuff, Tiff? You know, I teach you guys a lot about content strategy, obviously how to make consistent cash and clients online, generating passive income, all the things. But we've been talking a lot about managing that mind. And besides like the money mindset, which is incredibly important, I like also sharing with you the shiz that comes with success. And there's a catch with success. You cannot have what you want, whether it's cash, business, relationship, all of the above. You can't have it without taking action and being terrified anyway, feeling awkward, uncomfortable. It's out of your wheelhouse. You can't have it both ways. And so many of you are trying to have it both ways. I get it. I tried for a very long time. In fact, my first business, which I still have, I've had it 14 years, that specializes in doing digital marketing and branding for pharmaceutical, medical, and health supplement companies. That business for the first 5 years, I try to have it both ways. So I tried to feel safe and secure and not scared when it came to investing money in my business, investing to get help, putting myself out there, trying new things, getting advice, even asking for like client testimonials and reviews. That was really hard for me to ask for. I felt really uncomfortable doing that. I was trying to stay safe, but become a multimillionaire and grow that business into a multimillion-dollar business. Now, it is that today. And did I still grow it? And was I making great money? Yes, but it was growing really slow and it was not really scaling. And I could not figure out why. There's one of my main YouTube videos I have goes into the story. I was stuck at a certain amount. Now, when you hear that amount, you're kind of like roll your eyes like, listen, honey, if I was stuck at that, I'd be thrilled. Well, it's all relative. When you're stuck, whether you're in debt, when you're stuck and you're making $5,000 a month, when you're stuck at making 10 grand, 100 grand, it sucks because the feeling's the same. You feel like you're doing all the things. You feel like you're putting in so much effort and energy and love and time and attention and even money. And you're not getting the ROI you hope for. You feel still so far away from your goals and from the things that you want. In fact, right now you might feel more behind than ever, is my guess. And that's a terrible feeling. And I get it. I was there. And that's the tale of trying to have it both ways. And straight up, you just can't do it. You have got to invest money into a business before you have it, if you really want it to grow. Even once you do have it, right? I have the cash and it is still so outside my comfort zone to invest the amount of money that I've invested for this big launch that I'm doing. It's the most I've ever invested in either of my companies. And therefore it's terrifying. But I can't get to the next level. I can't take ProjectME past the $1 million a year mark if I don't do this. So ask yourself the question, what is it costing me by trying to stay safe, by trying to stay comfortable, by trying to not feel awkward, avoid judgment, avoid looking stupid, avoid it not being perfect, avoid criticism, avoid people going, God, that wasn't really, worth it. Oh, I can't believe I paid her for that. All those fears. So what is it costing you to not do the scary thing? What it would cost me to not invest, and my guess is we'll be at like 60 grand, okay? Like in one shot. That doesn't count my ongoing expenses and investments into my business, myself, having, my life and business coach, all those things. The cost would be I would not be able to help tens of thousands of more of you, and the ripple effect of that, of helping you make cash, doing something you love and not having to be dependent on any person, job, or institution ever again. That ripple effect is wild. It'd be selfish as hell of me not to do it. So there's that. And then monetarily, I at least would have $1 million on the line by not doing it. If I'm being conservative, it's a solid $1 million. That's what it would cost me to not do it. And yeah, is there a guarantee that this, let's just say the 60 grand, is there a guarantee the 60 grand is going to make me 120 grand, is going to make me $1 million, is even going to make me 60 to where I come out even? No, there is not. But because I've been an entrepreneur for 14 years and I hire top coaches in areas where I'm less experienced, don't have as much tenure in, right? Where they've just gone down different roads than me before me. And so they've made more mistakes. I hire those people because now I'm stacking the odds in my favor that I'm going to get a return. I'm going to get a payoff, and it's going to happen faster. That's why I do it. But there's still no guarantee, which is why it's scary as hell. Is there any guarantee you go all in your business? You actually start doing face-to-camera videos. You start posting consistently. You start pouring into your ideal clients. You invest in hiring me. Is there any guarantee that is going to pay off for you? No, but I can guarantee you by not doing it, it will cost you something. There's a catch. It'll cost you your sanity because you'll be in anxiety. You'll be riddled with probably shame and guilt because this dream isn't going to leave your heart. This vision of your life that you want isn't going to leave your heart. So that's not going anywhere. So you're going to have all of that rumination and all of those feelings and all that energetic drain going on. So it's going to cost you energetically. It's going to cost you spiritually. If it costs you energetically, emotionally, and spiritually, it will without a doubt cost you physically. And I know a lot of you listening are feeling fatigued, unmotivated, even exhausted right now. That uninspired blah kind of feeling. Very common, by the way, to have happen in January and February. Because the reality is now hit that the goals that you've set for yourself for this year and the things that you want to do and the intentions that you've set, now it's time to get into action. It's nice to be in the imaginative phase, the dream phase, the planning phase, the learning phase, the studying phase. A lot of you feel safe there because you're not really going and doing the thing. I would say 90% of my clients, because in my whether they're my group programs or in my private coaching program, because I teach both new entrepreneurs making less than 10K a month consistently, and then established entrepreneurs who range from, right, wanting to scale to multiple 6 figures to 7 figures and so on. But I see it across the whole gamut, regardless of how much experience. I mean, look at how much experience I have. I have millions in the bank. I'm terrified right now. Absolutely terrified. Like I had a full eczema flare a week and a half ago because I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm putting a lot on the line here. I'm spending more money than I ever have in my business. And it's not like I'm spending it out of my ass. It's strategic spending and it's investing. It's not just like blowing money, and they're all tax write-offs and all that stuff. And I had to remind myself, which is why I knew this episode had to occur. I had to remind myself, you can't have it both ways, Tiff. You can't help and impact the amount of people you want to help. You can't generate the amount of cash you want to make for your own selfish reasons, which is totally acceptable. right? I want to be able to buy one of these $6, $7, $8, $10 million oceanfront houses instead of renting one at $15,000 a month, right? That's fine. I want you to have those kinds of selfish goals. So I want to take my income to the next level. But the other reason is the more money I make, the more people I can help. I can build more safe houses for sex trafficked women and children. One of my goals is to have my own foundation, to have my own nonprofit where I have a task force. And it costs a ton of money to pull these girls off the street because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that's run as sophisticated as the drug cartel industry. That's a goal of mine, but I need cash to do that. I need a lot of cash to do that. So those are all the cost factors. And I'm sure there's even more. What is your cost factor by you not doing it? Now, yeah, the catch is you're going to feel awkward, terrified, uncomfortable. You risk people making fun of you. You risk people wanting their money back from a program because they didn't feel like they got anything out of it. You risk people having customer complaints. You risk people making fun of you. You risk family members thinking you're an idiot. You risk looking a fool. Yeah, there's a lot of risk. You risk losing a chunk of money that is a true noticeable chunk of money in your life. It might even be like, oh my God, I don't have it sitting in the bank, which by the way, none of my new entrepreneurs usually are sitting on a pile of cash unless they're coming from they already have a really good career and they're building another business on the side or an online revenue stream, or, they're in a marriage where their significant other makes a lot of money. But a lot of new entrepreneurs, they don't have the cash sitting there. That's why there's business loans. That's why there's PayPal credit. That's why Amazon's giving out millions and millions of dollars to business owners of people of color right now. It's called an investment. It's called a risk. And if you don't take it, what's at stake for you? You've got to ask yourself that. But trying to have it both ways, you're putting yourself in purgatory. And it's not cute there. And I know that feeling really well. It's like when I know I want to do 10 years I had the idea for starting all of this. And I remember when I really wanted to do a podcast, and I would listen to podcasts, and I want a podcast, and how are they doing it? And I had all this self-doubt, and who the hell would listen to me, and imposter syndrome, and all this crap. And time goes by so fast. And year after year went by, and I didn't do it. And then I'm like, well, now everyone has one. But what was the cost? I was riddled with shame for not trying it, mad at myself, beating myself up for not doing it, feeling unfulfilled and not really excited, waking up my vocation, even though I had my own business and I was making a lot of money. It wasn't lighting me up. It's a very corporate-y vibe, right? It's intellectually stimulating, but it wasn't exciting. It wasn't creative. I wasn't lit up by that. These are all major cost factors. There's no way to have it both ways. Believe me, I wish there was. I am rooted in trying to keep myself safe because of being someone who has PTSD and anxiety. That is like, I'm always searching for danger constantly. It's just how my system is wired from the abuse I suffered in childhood. So I really get it. But you got to have that talk with yourself of, okay, it's that rip off the Band-Aid moment. And some of you aren't there yet. And if you're on the cusp of being there, you think you're there, or you want to be there, or you're like, F it, I am there. I have the perfect place for you to start. My landmark, world, well-known, famous training is back. And it is my free live series, 3 Days to Make Bank. Thousands of people attended last year. Everyone loved it. I give away over $10,000 in prizes. You get my millionaire content map, which is not available anywhere else, just for attending and staying till the end. People have made great connections through it. People have made lifelong friends through it. But really what's so cool about it is I boil down in a nutshell over these 3 days. You will, if you follow what I teach in these 3 days, and I keep it very clear, very focused, very to the point, very simple. You don't need a fucking team to do it. You don't need complex funnels to do all the stuff. It's not circle talk. It's very, very clear, step by step, what you need to do in these 3 days. You follow it. There is no way you will not make money. Whether you have an existing business, you're starting from scratch, you want an additional revenue stream, there is no way this will not pay off for you. What's the catch with this? It's free, so you don't have to pay. The next time I do it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to charge. So, and this is only done once a year. The catch is we are maxing this out probably at 1,000 seats, and it sounds like a lot, but we had over, I think it was like 3,700 people sign up last time. And I'm running part of the $60,000 I'm talking about that I was terrified to invest is I am running a full ad campaign 3 days to make bank. So it's going to get full very quickly, but in all integrity. And because I'm very loyal to you guys as an Enneagram 6, I'm a loyalist. To you guys, my posse membership people obviously got first dibs on those spots, but you guys and everyone who is on my email list get second dibs. So go sign up right now. Do not wait on this. And it's at projectmewithtiffany.com/makebank. projectmewithtiffany.com/makebank. Send it to your friends, people you know that will really benefit from that 3 days, also that will hold you accountable and you can do it together, because doing it in numbers really, really is helpful because everyone picks up different things from it. And so it'll enhance your experience. Just don't wait to do it. You can swipe up, and this registration link is in my show notes. It'll also be in my bio on Instagram at ProjectMeWithTiffany, or just go to projectmewithtiffany.com/makebank. And you're going to want to prioritize this training. I've given you enough time so you can block out your schedule for it. You do not want to miss this. For what I'm teaching in here, I would at least be paid $15,000 to $20,000 by a corporation to teach this, if not, and way more if I was in person. But I do this time of year because I know you're sitting there feeling like wanting to quit life, which is why I titled this episode, When You Feel Like Quitting Life. It is this time of year. It feels like so much. You feel overwhelmed. You don't know where to start. You have things coming in all directions, but you know the goal you want, and you're multi-passionate, and then you end up freezing in paralysis. Then you feel like crap because you're really not getting anything done, which you know is not going to get you to your goal, which is making you mad at yourself. It's putting you in a spiral. It's putting you in a funk. You're in a self-placed purgatory. And then you just want to quit everything and go fly and be on an island and make seashell necklaces. When I get to this point, and I get like this too, you guys, it's not about I'm broke, I'm alone, I'm in debt, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, whatever. It's everyone can have this at any level. We're all human beings. I get like this. I have some heavy shit going on in my personal life that is taking a lot of bandwidth for me. I've hired support, and I've asked for support around that. And I'm taking my uncomfortable contrary action multiple times every single day to manage it, which is why I'm able to show up regardless for you. And I'm honored and privileged to, and show up for my damn self. But I still have moments. I mean, I was tripping when I had an eczema flare over how I'm going to bringing this company, this brand to the next level. I felt like someone had their hands around my throat and had me up against a wall, to where almost like I couldn't even really take a deep breath. I mean, I really felt that panicked. And I'm not going to share like, every single thing I've going on behind the scenes, but you'll see there's a couple main things I'm going all in on. Like I said, there's more money being poured out more than ever. I have a full luxury remodel that's still going on that we're already at $300,000 for. So there's that money. There's just, my credit card bills are wild, and I pay them off every month because I do it because I'm a points whore. Thank you. But it's still insane. And yeah, it feels a lot easier when we have emotional stuff going on. If you're someone like me who already has mental health stuff that you manage anyway, then on top of it, those of you who have kids, those of you going through a divorce, a breakup, some unexpected thing, a death in your family. And it gets to be too much, and you just want to, I said the other day to my best friend, Tracy O'Malley, I was like, girl, what are we doing? Why don't we just move into like the middle of nowhere, Texas, where we really would never have to work ever again and live like queens? Like, why wouldn't we just do that? That sounds so much easier. It sounds safer. It sounds less scary. It sounds more comfortable. And then she laughed and she was like, well, you'd have a real problem because there's no Postmates or DoorDash there. And we started laughing. And it's true. Like, come on now. Right? I say that and that's how I feel. And it feels like it'd be so much easier, but you can't have that feeling of it being safe, having no pressure, having no risk, and having and then achieving success. It just doesn't work. Whether it's you getting your body fitter, whether it's you deepening your relationship with a significant other, whether it is you finding your damn purpose and deepening your relationship with yourself or healing past traumas, this all requires extreme discomfort, and not for like a week. I feel like I'm screaming. I got really passionate and my coffee is on point today. I want you to just think of it this way. It's like if you're wanting to quit and you're wanting to disappear, that is a very clear signal that you don't have enough help or support in your life. So I want you to ask the question, what would make me feel more nurtured and supported right now? What would make me feel more nurtured and supported right now as I go for the success I want? Because if we don't add that as I go for the success I want, if I answered that question, what would make me feel more nurtured and supported right now? I'd be like eating my white cheddar popcorn on my deck while staring at the waves all day and daydreaming. And I could do that probably day after day after day. Add in a glass of wine and maybe some protein, maybe a daily yoga class. But that's not going to get me to the success I want. I actually have to take consistent, regular action. That doesn't mean I have to burn myself out. That doesn't mean you have to take action just to take action, and being busy does not equal being productive. I'm not talking about that. We're not available for doing stuff just for the sake of doing stuff. We're not available for doing hard things for the sake of doing hard things. That's a waste of time and energy. But what would make you feel more supported as you're going after the success that you desire? Would it make you feel more supported to know that you have a private coach in your corner? And if you're going, yeah, okay, well, it's time to get one. Well, Tiff, I don't have that kind of money. Well, what is it costing you to not have that support? My guess is you're not doing shit, or you're doing a bunch of things that aren't really working. You have a post and hope strategy. You're trying a bunch of stuff and you don't even know if it's going to work. What is it costing you to not do that? And you have to weigh that cost factor. And how long are you going to stay in this spot? Are we now going to be into June? Is it that, God, I wish, I really would love to meet more fellow entrepreneurs who are going after similar things so I don't feel so alone in this? Hello? You can join the Posse group coaching membership for $3.33 a day for $100 a month. You can sign up for the free 3 days to make bank. There'll be thousands of people that you can connect with. You can go and straight up DM people and ask if they know of any great groups. You can join Facebook groups. Is it that you feel like you need more encouragement or help with the kids while you get more to give you more mental and physical bandwidth to do what you need to do? Well, then you need to ask for that from the people in your life, whether it's for free or you guys come up with something where you have a budget to hire someone to clean your house, watch your kid, whatever it is. Otherwise, the cost is you're not going to do it. And maybe then my answer, and I've said this to a few people in the last 2 weeks, which is also what prompted this episode. And you also don't have to do any of it. You don't have to go after the stream you want. You don't have to go after making the money, having the cash freedom you want, the freedom of time, the freedom to work wherever you want, the freedom of not depending on any man, woman, job, or institution ever again. You don't have to do that, and it's okay. You can go keep working at your regular job. You can go back and get a corporate job. You can continue being a stay-at-home mom who focuses on being a stay-at-home mom and doesn't have a business. That's also okay. But to be in that middle purgatory ground is causing you to have depression, is causing you to be unmotivated, and it's simply not working. So the action you need to take is what's going to make me feel more supported as I am going for the success that I want. It might be removing some people from your life. It might be unfollowing a bunch of people on Instagram that don't make you feel good about yourself. I want you then to ask yourself, what support can I give to myself right now? What can I do right now to best support myself as I go after the success? One is asking others, hiring others, right, for what you need, but for yourself. So as an example, for me, I am doing yoga a minimum of 5 days a week. That's what I'm doing. I'm going, thank God I can go to in-person classes. Oh my God, what a blessing that exists. Again, I am taking my regular abundance walks. And if you've not gotten my abundance walk 3-part guided meditation series, you're crazy for not getting that. And that's at projectmewithtiffany.com/guided meditation. Also in the link in my bio on Instagram and in show notes. Right? You need to make a commitment to yourself and I don't want you to overcommit and set yourself up for failure. That's why I made it a 3-part series for those abundance walks, because I was like, you can just do it 3 times a week. I wasn't saying 7 days a week. I don't want you guys to set yourself up for that. But maybe it's okay, I'm going to start doing yoga 3 days a week. I am going to I'm going to set boundaries around time with my family. So from blank time to blank time, no one can bother me. No one can bother me unless it's an emergency or the house is on fire. Setting better boundaries with time. Maybe it's your own boundaries with yourself. I am not going to allow myself to watch any more than 90 minutes of TV, of Netflix at night, and instead I need to do blank. Maybe it's read. Maybe it's not necessarily working on your business. Maybe you need to have that talk with yourself of you're giving yourself permission to invest money in your business, in yourself to get where you want to go, and that it's okay. and you're willing to put that risk on yourself and that investment on yourself, it's amazing how it's a no-brainer for you to buy a new iPhone, buy unnecessary shit at Target, go out to dinner, or get takeout multiple times a week. And it's like a no-brainer. But then when it comes to a true investment versus spending, that is actually going to have a high likelihood of getting you a significant ROI, and not just financial, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically, there's so much resistance. Maybe it's that you need to give yourself permission. Maybe instead of, waking up in the morning and scrolling, you start waking up and you put on a podcast. Or you wake up and you go right to doing a half an hour of yoga or prayer. Maybe that's what you do. But know that you're not alone in wanting to quit life. That's how we feel when we're all overwhelmed and we feel like we need more support. We're not feeling heard, seen, and understood. And we need to just reconfigure some things and set some things up differently. And it's also a sign you're in that self-imposed purgatory. And you're the only one that can get yourself out. I was the only one who could get myself out of that full purgatory panic attack. And I did really quickly because I have a lot of practice at it and I have a lot of support. But I know you guys can do that. I'm excited for you to register for the free live training series, 3 days to make bank. Again, it's at projectmewithtiffany.com/makebank. Links in my bio on Instagram. Swipe up for the registration link in the show notes here. The link to the free Abundance Walk guided meditation series will also be in here. Wishing you guys great health, wealth, and worth as always. And it would mean so much to me if you just took 90 seconds, probably takes you less, and you can leave a 5-star review. Spotify now allows you to leave reviews. And I know a lot of you listen to the show on Spotify. And so leave that review on Spotify, 5-star written review. Please put your name or Instagram handle in the review. Then DM me on Instagram. Let me know you left it. Please put in a screenshot of it and I will treat you to a coffee, drink, or a smoothie or a protein shake of your choice for being so grateful for you to be such a loyal and appreciative listener. And this can be on Apple Podcast review or now Spotify. 5-star written review. Leave your name or Instagram handle in the review. DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Let me know you left the review. Please include a screenshot. This way we don't have to go and try to cross-reference. And then I would love to treat you to a tasty drink of your choice. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.